Hey, everybody. I hope everybody can hear me. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We're going to just dive into this. I know there's some people that have been waiting for it, have been asking for it, and I am ready to share some secrets and some tips for our travel agents. So let's just do this first. Let me just tell you a little bit of how this came about. We have an agency that we have a lot of new agents in, and I've been asked many, many times for some help. So I figured there's no help out there. Nobody's able to give any help. You can't find very much help. So I figure that everybody needs a little bit of insider information, not just videos from vendors, training from vendors. You guys need more insider information. So that's what I'm going to try to give you tonight. We're going to dig into some all-inclusive stuff, which everybody has been asking for. That's a great little place to start for new agents. So let me just let you know a little bit about me. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Tammy Walker. I live here in sunny Florida. I'm married. I have 2 adult children. Wonderful husband that is super supportive. I have had a huge lifelong passion for travel. Never thought that it would be my career. I was a registered nurse for a long time and actually got disabled and was able to stay home now for the past 3.5 years and follow my passion, which is travel. So after 3.5 years, I have basically completely been 100% self-trained. I was with 3 previous host agencies prior to this one. Ended up switching agencies each time because either there was no training whatsoever. My first company gave me a 30-minute video and tried to tell me I was a certified travel agent. That's not possible, and don't believe it if they tell you that. So after spending 12 hours on something that probably should have taken me 30 minutes of digging and finding the best rates and doing all those things we do for our clients, I decided I was going to switch travel companies, host agencies, excuse me, and did so, only to find out that I was just a number. There were 1,500 agencies or agents in this particular host agency that I signed up with. So long story short, here we are today. We have finally put together an amazing agency that has taken all of the good from these other agencies and got rid of all the bad. We have just an amazing culture here, and that's just another reason that I'm sharing with you guys tonight. So having said that, I have numerous vendor and industry certifications. I have those basically out of necessity from training myself. So I'm with Gold Shield with Norwegian. I'm certified with Royal Caribbean, all the cruise lines, Commodore status with Princess, CLIA member, AUTA card holder, you name it, every resort, Club Med, sandal specialist, just about anything you can imagine. I've done some training on it. So once I started narrowing everything down, they always tell you to find your niche. So I figured I better do what I love, which was cruises, all-inclusives. I live here in Florida. Disney's an absolute necessity, so I'm a Disney specialist. I do basically leisure travel, lots of groups, and I'm actually getting ready to delve into some corporate travel. So that is what my specialties are. I know that we always talk about niches, but this just happens to be what I enjoy doing. So if you've got something else, I just encourage you to do it. You know, if you want to do weddings, whatever you want to do, make sure that you do what you love and what you know about. Okay, let's just get into it, guys. We're going to do all things all-inclusive tonight. This is an amazing niche. Just about anybody can do this. Can sell all-inclusives. It doesn't really matter what other things that you do. Like I said, I do cruises and all these other things. But all-inclusives are very easy to sell. Everybody seems to love them. Doesn't matter if you're old, young, family, single, does not matter. Everybody loves all-inclusives. So they're very simple, and they're a great start, like I said, for new agents. We're going to go over some vendors tonight. We are going to focus probably on Vacation Express only because my current agency, it seems like that's where I'm getting a lot of questions from, but not just that, because I love them. I use them all the time, almost exclusively, unless there's a property, like sandals that they don't carry, Puerto Rico they don't carry. So we're also going to go over a few things on how to exceed your client's expectations when you book for them, and even after the booking. So just because they ask for something doesn't mean that you can't give them more for their money, and I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to go into researching properties so that you can learn about them and you're not sending your clients to bug-infested resorts where the food is awful and the buffets close at 7, and they're calling you crying. We don't want that to happen. So I'm going to show you some easy ways to research your properties, different places to go, find the reviews that you need to look at, and feel good about what kind of quote that you give them and where you're sending them. We're going to do go through just an actual booking with Vacation Express. I know this training is out there. I just want to show you a few things of how I use it, and what the key points are, so you don't get so lost in their system. They have a lot of things that looks a little overwhelming to new people sometimes. So I'm going to show you exactly where to go, where to click, and how to get it done. And Vacation Express, I'm going to give you those tips and tricks that I talked about, and they won't just apply to Vacation Express. They will apply across the board for any of the vendors, any of the all-inclusives. And finally, price checking and matching. If you don't do it, your client will. Worst thing in the world is to send a quote out, guys, and they come back and say, what are you talking about? I found it $500 cheaper online. We need to make sure that we don't get lazy. Don't ever get too lazy to research the property. Don't ever get too lazy to check your pricing. I'm going to show you really easy, just common sense ways to do that. It's not rocket science. It's just that most people, a lot of people overlook it. They just think that they've got the best rate, but they don't confirm that. So we just don't want that to happen. And I'm also going to show you where actually sometimes we actually get beat, and we have to get our prices matched, which Vacation Express does do. All-inclusive vendors. Okay, this is by no means a complete list. This is just a few of them. I could go on and on, but Vacation Express happens to be one of my favorites. It's also one of our company's preferred vendors. I just can't get better prices. I can't get better prices than Vacation Express. And if I happen to somehow find something that is exactly the same, they price match. So what I do is I send it to them and they go, okay, we'll do it for that price. You're right. They beat us. So love it. Love Vacation Express. The next one is sandals. You can't have all-inclusives without sandals. It is just amazing. No commercial that they put out, no literature that they give us. There's just no way to describe sandals to a client unless you've been there. When you've been there, it's still impossible. All you can do is just beg them to go check it out, because sandals is amazing, 5-star, amazing. Club Med's not the old Club Med it used to be. This is actually a picture that I've got up here of a bunch of us. It's not by any means all of the agents that we had from our agency there, but just a few weeks ago, we were all at Club Med, had a great time, and found out that it's not for old people. It's not our 60s and 70s Club Med that it used to be. They have completely revamped. They've revamped their property. They have things that nobody else has. They have skiing, all-inclusives in the Alps, you name it. So if you haven't seen Club Med, if you're currently an agent, if you're not with our company, all of our agents are now Club Med certified, then please, by all means, go check them out. You might be really surprised. And they took such amazing care of us for free. Easy Book, CCRA.
Tammy, this is moderator Dale jumping in, and I just want to let you know that I don't see your screen share. I don't know if you have that up with your PowerPoint.
Could you see it before, Dale?
When we were doing the test run, I could see it before, but I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Well, guys, that just is awful. Just a second, guys. Let me get on this and share this screen. Is that it, Dale?
There it is. We can see it.
All right, guys. Well, I am so sorry about that. I wished I'd have known before now. Should have listened to my phone dinging like crazy, huh? Okay, let me just go through here and see where we are. I am so sorry, guys. There's our picture from Club Med. Okay, where was I? So I just told you guys about Club Med. So let's just move on. So that I don't want to take up everybody's time too much here, but Easy Book, CCRA, agent only sites, obviously for hotels. They're accommodations only. It's a great place to kind of research the resorts. If somebody just needs accommodations, you may actually find a deal on there that you can beat anybody else's price. So they're definitely worth looking into, especially if you need accommodations only. This list could be forever. FunJet, Classic Vacations, Travel Impressions, MLT, Apple Vacations, all of the airlines, Southwest Vacations, Delta Vacations, they all have one. So having said that, the list just goes on. I mean, Allegiant has them. They all have them. So if your client brings you a Delta's vacation because he has Sky Miles, you definitely can beat it most of the time. And explain to him that his Sky Miles will still count. You know, you'll put them on there. It doesn't matter which vendor you use. You can get him those points still. Okay, Cheap Caribbean. This one is a little important. So cheapcaribbean.com. I use them only to check my prices for price matching. There have been a couple occasions that they're a few dollars cheaper. They're never majorly cheaper. I haven't researched it. I'm sure them and Vacation Express have something to do with each other because they do tend to have the same charter flights that only Vacation Express typically offers. So you can compare apples to apples with them. They will absolutely have the same flights as long as you have the exact same flight, exact same room, dates, all of that. If they are cheaper, it doesn't matter how much, you can send that to Vacation Express and they will price match it for you. The reason I don't use Cheap Caribbean, yes, they do have a travel agent portal. They do pay commissions, but it's a whopping 5%, where Vacation Express pays between 10 and 17 depending. On regular Vacation Express, we get 14, 15%, I think, for our agency. So it's as high as they go. But just for price match only, your client can get on this particular website. And if they type in all-inclusives or cheap all-inclusives, Cheap Caribbean is going to be at the top of the list. So they will go there and make sure that you've at least looked at their pricing and that you can say to your client, hey, I have a better vendor. I use this vendor all the time, and they're going to get you the same price that you can find this for here. I really, really suggest that you go with this vendor. Let me just match the price. And I've never had a client tell me no. So you just don't want them to find it cheaper and think that you're not doing your job, or that you're, like a lot of people think that the internet redid everything. We don't need travel agents anymore. So Vacation Express, let me just go through real quick. All this can pretty much be found on their site, but they are one of the largest tour operators in the U.S. They've been in business for over 25 years. They do have over 20 destinations: Caribbean, Mexico, Costa Rica. They do not have Puerto Rico. They don't have Hawaii. I'm trying to think of where else they don't. They do have U.S. Virgin Islands. They don't have St. John. So there are some that you're gonna maybe want that they don't have. Very competitive pricing. Like I said, I rarely can find, and they just can't hardly be beat, with the exception of Sheep Caribbean occasionally. They price match. I've said that a couple times. They offer Cuba. They have a groups department that will help you put together any group you want. They have a whole list on their website that you can see of different resorts that they recommend for groups. They found that they have the accommodations for them, the meeting rooms for them, whatever you need. They also do destination weddings, and they have services for that, where they basically have a wedding planner that you can get for your clients, and they will work one-on-one with them. And with the resort. So they do a lot of your legwork for you. Agent incentives are amazing with Vacation Express. They have a fly free program. You get 5, you get a free flight on one of their charters. If you get 10, you book 10 charter flights, then you can take a companion with you. Cash incentives, they have the free resort nights, book 5, get 1 free. Different resorts offer different nights, but that's available. They do have an agent reduced air program where you can get reduced air flights, and they offer fam trips from time to time. I don't think they have any right now, though. Okay, guys, this is why the really good stuff about them. This is kind of some of the stuff that a lot of people don't realize. I love them so much. I love their charter flights. I cannot stress to you enough that I don't care if your client has to drive an extra hour. You need to talk them into a charter flight if you can get them on one. I do it all the time. I'm from West Virginia. None of these charter flights are going out of West Virginia. Heck, we're lucky that an airplane lands there. So I send my clients to Columbus typically, or Charlotte, and when they see the price difference, they're more than happy to do it. Plus, they're all nonstop, and they have amazing times. They get you in the morning. They leave your last day in the afternoon, typically after 4 o'clock, so you get the most of your vacation. You have 6 days, you get all 6 days. They do have a schedule. It's in the agent portal. When you log in, it says charter flights, and you can go right there. Very much lower cost. They basically bring these planes in. Some of these are not airlines you've even heard of before. They're just private airlines that they brought down, and they use them throughout the seasons. $75 deposit. If somebody's on a charter flight, they do not pay for their air up front. If it is a regular flight that is not one of their private charters, they have the deposit is at minimum the cost of the air. So that can get very expensive for a deposit. It's $75 per person with charter flights. You also, I don't think most people know this, you also can book just the air portion. So say you're looking and you can't find a very good rate to Cancun or wherever. If they can get on a charter flight, you can book it air only if all they need is a flight. Reduced deposit plan. Love this. So for the ones that can't get on a charter flight, obviously, the deposits can be ridiculous, especially if you have a family of 3 or 4. If they're flying from someplace odd or some smaller place that $600, then they're going to be paying they could have a $2,400 deposit that they need to put down because they do have to pay for those flights. They can pay $10 per person and get the reduced deposit plan, and that automatically brings their deposit down to $235 per person. And it does not matter what the air costs are. They will ticket them. They will save them a seat on that plane as long as they pay $235. That is non-refundable. Trip insurance, if it's for a qualified cancellation, they will take care of that if you get trip insurance. But it is non-refundable because they've saved your seat on that plane. Okay, vevalue.com. Agents only. A lot of people don't know about this one either. They pay a little lower commission on this site. This is a travel agent. If you have a login to Vacation Express, then you have a login to VE Value. Write it down. I use it all the time. You have clients that are nickel dime you. I mean, they're just very strict budgets, and also family, friends, that kind of thing too. But mostly you've got clients that are going to walk away for whatever reason, and they just need it to be a little bit lower, or they're looking online like crazy. if you go here, that pretty much takes care of that price matching that they're going to be able to find, because it lowers their rate by lowering the commission. It's 10%, which is still not bad, and it's on the land portion only. So it does benefit. I use it a lot. I use it a lot. Don't lose a client over $100. It's just not worth it. I mean, 10% of something's better than 10% of nothing. So if you need to use that, go through and look. Sometimes it's a really good difference in price. Other times it's barely anything at all. So it's worth at least looking to see what the price difference is. And vepremier.com. Okay, another travel agent only site. This is for, it's got benefits for your clients. It's not just a benefit for agents. Yes, they pay awesome commissions, 17% on land, 3% on air, but they waive those change fees. So if somebody needs to change a name or something, those fees can get really substantial. They waive that if you've booked them through this particular site. Yes, it's going to raise the cost of their trip just a little bit, but they do get perks for it, like the waived change fees. They get complimentary mailed documents instead of just an email where they print it and it's a piece of paper. Those are typically, you have to pay for those. If you want to get those for your clients through the other two sites, then I think they're like $20 or $25. But some people really want those. And if you want to impress them, they're nice. And then the clients also, if it's somebody that travels a lot and they do all-inclusives, they're coming back, they go once or twice a year at least, they earn $100 towards future travel. Has to be used within 18 months, but they do get, it's basically a rebate. So it's a benefit for both you and your client to use the Premier site. Go look at it, see what you think. Is luxury clients, that kind of thing. It's a good deal. Okay, now let's get to this booking. I know that people have got questions, and we're going to have that at the end. So here's what I've came up with, guys. This was actually a client. She would kill me. It really did happen, but it's a family of 4. It's 2 adults. So we got a 10-year-old and a 17-year-old. She's a nurse and he's a sales manager, so they're professionals. But they vacation twice a year, and this time, like their favorite vacation was a cruise to Jamaica and Grand Turk and all that. The thing about that is a cruise client is a very easy typically to transition into an all-inclusive. Give them something different, give them that option. They may have just not ever thought about it, but it gives them everything that they get on a cruise. They're used to getting all that food for free, but they're also used to paying a lot of money for drinks. So when you show it to them, it's just a great transition for those clients. So these were pretty avid cruisers. She loves to be pampered. She's a little diva and admits it. Of course, the kids want things to do. They want to see, the 17-year-old doesn't even want to be around anybody. Dad, he could care less as long as they get there alive, and he can just relax and drink cocktails. And so that's his vacation. He says, I'm not going to dime over $4,000, Tammy. She says, well, I can get him up to 5. And this really did happen. So they wanted early June, 5 to 7 days. She really wanted 7. But if it was just amazing, and worth their money, then she would get back down. And we were flying them out of Charlotte. So here you go in, you log into your site. You've got to log in for Vacation Express. This is your travel agent front page. Go under account, you'll see it. If it pulls up the regular booking page, then you can just go to the top and hit account. For this booking, we're going to go to new booking. If you look down on this left side, you'll see everything. There's your charter schedule I told you about. It tells you everywhere that they fly and when, how many days, all that good stuff. VE Value has a link here, but I don't know why VE Premier does not. All your agent incentives are there. They even will send you brochures. You can order those for you to pass out to your client. But I will tell you that they're a little hard to follow. They've got a lot of information in them, and I've had a lot of clients say, I got one of them Vacation Express books this year, and I couldn't make heads or tails out of it. So, get one, see what you think. It goes into the details of the reduced deposit plan, so your client will know that it's non-refundable, and you can see all the particulars on that. But you need to go to new booking, and that's where we're going to start this. So I put in all of the information. Okay, so I thought this is how I typically do it. Somebody tells me, 6, 7 days, 5, 7 days. I'll see what 7 is. I know what their budget is, or at least hopefully I have some idea. If you can wrangle it out of them, please do. It will save you massive headaches to at least get some kind of idea of how much they're wanting to spend. So I go ahead and I put in 7 nights, but let me show you what happens here. So I picked the first week of June because they want to go early June. So the next screen, I get this that pops up, and it says, hey, Charlotte, hello, we've got charter flights. So if you click on that 4 right there, you will see that it pulls up another little box, and on that box, it tells you exactly, it's a 6-night to Cancun. Well, Cancun means that it could be the whole hotel district or Riviera Maya. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, I know that if I could send them for 5 days and not get as good of a deal as what I'm going to get with a charter flight. I could put them on a 5-day where they have to fly out of Charlotte on Delta, and I can guarantee you they'll pay more than if I send them on a 6-night that includes the charter flight. So these are really important. They end up getting more for their money. They just do, more bang for their buck. So if you click the select right there beside where it says Charlotte, Cancun 6-night, it will then start searching for those packages. Next screen that we're going to get, I cropped this. This is just the top of the screen because I wanted you to be able to see the flight information really close. This is what I was talking about. Look at these flight times. 9 a.m. they get in. It's nonstop. They get in at 10:55. On their last day, they don't fly out till 4 p.m. They get all day there. They're not losing any of their vacation. If it's something that's just not doable for some reason, especially when it's pulling up non-charter flights, they're flying out of somewhere that's not an option, or a time of year they don't have them, and you see they give you what they think is the best price and the best times, you can click the More Options button, and it will pull up a whole list of flights that are available for those dates. So you can pick, it'll tell you which ones are more expensive, how much more they are, all that. So make sure you look at those. Then you can also, of course, right here, you can bring it down. You can do it by price. We can do it by hotel name. I typically leave that alone, but there are times that I'm looking for specific hotel, so I will do it that way. Okay, give me just 1 second, guys. Sorry. Just 1 sec. Oh, Lord, honey. I'm telling you guys. Okay. Now we can go back to business. I had to fix this, these beautiful questions that I'm getting over here that are obnoxious. Okay, guys, back to what I was doing. So you can see at the top where I wanted you guys to be able to see these flights a little bit better. So this is actually the whole screen. Well, not the whole screen. It went on forever. Basically, it's got a whole list of hotels here, resorts, and then we've got, obviously, the AO would stand for adults only, but we have kids in this, so they're not even going to pull those up. They have everything that you can imagine down through here, but they're going to do it by price. So we've got 904, and if I'm not mistaken, this list went to like something ridiculous, like 10,000, which is not common on Vacation Express, but it was something insane on this one. So what I did was I just wanted to share this screen with you and let you see that it groups it that way. You can see on the left-hand side all the names, but also notice that underneath those names, you've got specials. So you can click on any of those red specials. Ryu's got a summer special and $35 spa credit. When you click on that, it's going to bring up a little box that tells you exactly what that special is. So you can look through those. But when there's children involved, really focus on, don't look at the price so much on the right-hand side. Look at your resorts and watch for those specials that say kids are free, because they do that a lot with these resorts. You'll have 1 or 2 children free. These numbers over here where it says kids, and it has 12, 17, 12, that's telling you that the max age to be considered a child at that resort is 12 or 17. It seems like most of them are 12, but there are some that are 17. So if it says 2 kids free, as long as they're 12 or under, you'll get 2 kids free. They'll just pay for the flights. Also, if you click on the name of the resort, it pops down, gives you a description of it. And right here to the right-hand side, looking at this Grand Riviera Princess, if you click more info, I suggest you do that with every one of your resorts. Go to the more info. It pulls up everything that Vacation Express has populated about that particular resort. It tells you all about their all-inclusive. Do they have a platinum level? You know, that some call it platinum, diamond, club level. What's included in that as opposed to just the regular all-inclusive? It gives you their rooms, their descriptions. It has photos. It's just a really good tool. And it also even explains some of the specials that they have. So definitely look at it. And I've even sent it to my clients. It has links at the top that you can send it to them. It doesn't hurt anything. There's no pricing on there. There's no commissions on there. It just gives them a lot more insight that maybe they can't find online, or at least they won't have to dig for it. Then the next thing I'm going to show you here real quick is I pulled up this Grand Riviera Princess. Now I did this because I've sent people to the Princess Resorts, have had pretty good luck with them, especially for their price. They give you a lot for what you pay for. It's a good option. It's not top of the line luxury, but it is very nice. And a lot of clients, they feel like it's top of the line luxury. It's top of the line luxury for them. So they feel like they really get what they pay for here. The thing about them is they have a platinum level, and their platinum level has a lot of added benefits. It has butler service. It has a private pool just for platinum members. It has, oh my goodness, what all? They have a lounge just for platinum members. They give them bathrobes. They have, I mean, you name it. And you can go on this list right here, and any of these rooms, you can click on the blue, and it will pull up a description of that room. So you can see if it's king only. Can you get doubles? Is it the platinum level? You know, is it one of the diamond levels, platinum levels, whatever they've got that has more amenities to it? So what I noticed here, and this happens all the time, is if you look at the Princess Family Club, the deluxe, it's $1,107. But the platinum suite's only $70 more. Now, the amenities that are included in the platinum level are ridiculous. I mean, they get butler service on the beach. They get butler service at their private pool. They get a la carte anytime they want. They get a special dinner that they get to pick the night of for $70 more. Also, this doesn't say that children are free. It's not free. It's a reduced rate for children that they're offering. So it's only $639 for the 10-year-old. So here we are, and this comes to $41.76. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, we're real close. I mean, I know that when I say butler service, he's going to pay $176 more, and she's going to be happy. She's not even going to have to talk him into this. But I want to go down through here and make sure that there's not anything better. So I went on down. Well, before I go, here's what it pulls up, and it shows you all of the stuff that in this platinum suite. When I clicked on platinum suite, this is what it pulled up. So I just wanted to show you guys what it shows. It's got a jacuzzi even on the terrace and in the bathroom. Premium bar, premium drinks instead of just wells. Special dinner, like I said, they get all kinds of things that you would not get in just the regular rooms. So I went down through here, and this is a good example of not looking. That was like started at like 904. This one starts at 1107. A lot of agents would just look at those first pricings and not even pull up the room list. That's a mistake. This one, for example, has got $150 resort credit up to a $300. Royalton is a good. They have great properties. They're very consistent, really nice properties. And it seems like everybody that I've ever sent there just loves it. So they do have a diamond. Well, theirs is not called platinum. It's called diamond. Very similar. Butler service, all those things. You know, premium drinks, all that good stuff. Butler service everywhere. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, 1107. Well, right here, the first Diamond Club is $70 more than the cheapest room that they have, which is just regular. I mean, it could be in the back of the resort. I don't know. It just, you know, it's your lowest room that they have available. So then I go on down and I'm like, okay, we've got Ocean View for $1242. Thinking, okay, that's pretty good. And then we've got this Diamond Club luxury suite for $1257. So what do we have? So if we're in Diamond, they get a $300 resort credit and 2 kids are free. Well, up to 12 years old. Sure enough, this one's free. This is taxes and air only. $471.50 is what we're paying for the child. So if you see what happened here is that, yes, the rooms are more expensive, but they actually lost, you know, the child was free, so they gained $200 and $200 some there. So, you know, you can afford to get a more expensive room. So on this next slide, if you look here, there's a whopping $15 difference between an Ocean View and an Ocean View with a terrace jacuzzi. I would go for the terrace jacuzzi. Most of your clients will. But this is another example of just pull it up and look, because you might get surprised. You never know what's going to be listed there with those rooms. There's a $45 total difference, and it's a larger room with a terrace jacuzzi. So this list was crazy on this particular one. I apologize. I've never seen so many rooms in my life, but it was a good example, so I really wanted to give it to you. But here, as I scrolled on down, just underneath that, was this one, the Diamond Luxury Family Suite Ocean View. And the only difference in that is it is a little more expensive. I mean, we're at $446, so we're splitting their high. You know, he said 4, she said 5. We're right in the middle. But the thing I liked about this, and I would send this to my client, is because it did have a screen that separated the children and the husband and wife. And I know that when couples go, a lot of times they want that privacy. They want to take their kids, but they want some privacy too. So I would send this as an option. I always send my clients 2 options, 3 at most if I can keep from it. So I probably would send them this option, the Princess option with the Platinum Suite, and also the last one that had the terrace jacuzzi, and give them those 3 options. I will tell you this. Please, 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 if you send a client to a resort and they are on budget and they can't afford anything but rock bottom, which is fine. If you're sending them to a resort, which a lot of these are that way, guys, make sure you look at them, that has a Diamond Club level. Some of them just call it club level, whatever they call it, platinum, that they know about it. Please tell them before they go. It is awful when we assume that somebody can't afford something, and if they're making payments and they hear how much value is in those levels and what they can get for sometimes just a couple $100 more, they'll take it every time. But for the ones that don't, at least tell them about it. You don't want them showing up. These people get, you know, these diamond levels get their own check-in. They get a different colored bracelet. There are pools that your client won't be able to get into because they're not this level. The butler's not going to stop for them like they do the platinum level, diamond level members. So they need to know that before they go. You don't want them calling you and saying, oh, well, we got there and they said that we could upgrade. But by the time, you know, if we'd have done it, we found out it would only been a couple $100, but they wanted $1,000 for us to upgrade. you know, and they're like, well, why is my bracelet a different color? So it definitely, like this one that we're looking up right now, I knew for sure there wasn't a chance I would have sent her to any resort that had a platinum level. I don't care if she could afford it or not. I'd find her a different resort, because she is the type that the first phone call I would have got would have been, why is my wristband a different color? And why is there a pool I can't get into? And why are these people getting waited on? I mean, she would have been upset. So at least let them know, hey, when you get there, your wristband's going to be a different color. You know, yeah, they've got some amenities you don't have. And some people care and some don't. But find out. That's all I'm suggesting. Okay, so we hit select. We picked our room. And for this example, Diamond Club Luxury Suite. That's the one that with the terrace jacuzzi. I thought, well, okay, we got to pull up. We got to start somewhere. So this is the first one that I'm going to quote her. What I would do if I was going to do more than one is I would, if you notice right here, you can change. There's a little change button and a start over button. The change button means that you can change your resort. Same thing with the flights up there, but you can change your resort. So what I would do is I would come over here and always make a note of this. Always hide your agent details, because it shows your commission. Now, all of us agents know that even Expedia, everything that our clients buy, that whether it's through us or not, they're paying commission. It's built in. They're going to get the same price directly through Vacation Express. But they don't understand that. If they see that commission, they think you have added that. They don't realize that it's already there. And so definitely hide that. I never let my clients know about my commission, because they just don't understand. They don't understand when they book on hotels.com, hotels.com gets commission. If you don't use an agent, for instance, with Vacation Express, they just pocket the money. That money, they're still paying it, they pocket it. Same thing on cruises. Everything we do is that way. So hide the agent detail. I would then screenshot this typically, or copy and paste, because, well, you can also, well, there's another option. You can also save the itinerary. This is what I do. I typically just go through and kind of do a screenshot or a copy and paste. But you can save the itinerary. The only problem with that is it then takes you back to takes you to a different screen once you do that. So if I'm going to do more than one, I will just do it that way. I'll hit the change button. It'll take me back. I'll pick a different room, do the same thing, hide my agent detail, hit the change button, go back, grab that Grand Princess Riviera. That's one way that you can do it. Or you can just keep starting over. Now, the start over button. Do not ever hit the back button on your browser on Vacation Express. If you do so and go and pick a different, oh, I don't, that's not the room I meant to pick, and you hit the back button on your browser, it's going to save this in your cart. So when you do find the one you want, it's so frustrating, because you click, select, and then all of a sudden you've got this one in your cart and that one, and you can never figure it out again. You have to start over regardless. So if you are changing dates, if you are changing number, what it is with kids and without kids, I've done that before. Hit the start over button. Don't hit the back button, because then you're doing triple work. You got to start over anyway. Hope that makes sense. Down here at the bottom of this page that you can't see at the last slide, this is the bottom of that. And this is where we can add all this great stuff. So you can do everything from tours to private. If they don't want their round trip transfers that come with the package, you can change that to private for a little more money. The trip insurance, I don't ever sell their trip insurance. I can't speak on it. I use Travel Guard or CSA. They're much cheaper. Travel Guard has a gold plan that children are free. So it's just going to save them a lot of money, and they're going to get the same, if not better, coverage, pretty much. There's those electronic delivery. That's at no charge. That's always added in there. That's your emails. But right here, the paper documents is $20. I was telling you guys about before, if they want to mail to them, unless you use the Premier site. Round trip check bags. Those are for charter flights only. Buy them in advance. They are cheaper. So that is the only time that you can add bags. and they can make payments on it and have it in their total and not be surprised, and come up with a bunch of money for bags the day before they leave. So that definitely, I've been adding that in on all of mine since they started that. Now, we are not going to quote this yet, but here's what we're going to do. We are going to save the itinerary, and before we do any quotes, here's what we're going to review these. So we don't want to send this out. I mean, if you haven't personally, please always check the reviews unless you personally experienced the property. And I mean before they changed management 10 years ago. If you have not been there, if you haven't sent a ton of clients there and you know that it's safe and there's not any problems and it's wonderful, review it. And there's multiple ways to do that. I told you that you can click on the name, click on more info, and Vacation Express gives you a ton of stuff. But I use TripAdvisor a lot. It is your friend. Use good common sense. There are some fake reviews on there. I think probably most of us already know this. But there are tons of things like photos that clients have taken, that real individuals are not taken by the property. You can actually research, like I've researched, I want to know exactly what people are saying about this platinum level. So I put in platinum, and anything that they're talking about the platinum suite, the platinum pool, the platinum whatever lounge will come up, and I can get some more insight on that. So I use TripAdvisor a lot, but just use common sense. There's people that you could send to the Taj Mahal and they would not be happy. So when you see those kind of reviews, I just kind of look at the middle ground, and I also look at how many reviews the people have been doing. If it's just one review, they're a little iffy to me. If they review frequently, then I'm going to take their word a little better. So read between the lines. Google, of course, is our best friend, every travel agent's best friend. Tons of reviews on there. They have their own reviews. You can find all kinds of info on the property. This one I wasn't sure I was going to talk about, but it's one of those tricks that I think that if I don't tell you about it, then you're going to figure it out anyway. And let me just tell you from experience, travel agent groups, there's tons of them on Facebook. There's a group called Travel Agents Helping Travel Agents. And there are a lot of agents and a lot of seasoned agents in that group. Now, having said that, some of these people have been agents for 25, 30 years. They own their own agencies. It's like any other profession. They eat their young. So if you're new, my suggestion to you is please, if you're with our company on here right now listening to me, please do not go on these groups and ask a bunch of questions until you are a little more comfortable and seasoned yourself, and you can provide insight into and help and be helpful the way that they are. What I use these groups for, and what I suggest you use them for, is you can search in them. You can go and type in Grand Princess Riviera, Royalton, and it will pull up every post that they've ever talked about that particular property. You can pull up Cancun and, whatever. It will pull up anything that they've talked about. So what you don't want to do is they can smell you a mile away, guys, and it will they'll eat you alive. I hate to be mean, but I'm telling you, go through there and look at some of the posts. They will eat you alive. You cannot go on there and say, hey, I have a client that needs to go, that wants to go to Cancun, and they want an all-inclusive. Anybody got any suggestions? They're gonna smell you a mile away. I just suggest that you search first, and then we have our own Facebook group. I think most of you know about it. If you don't, please go sign up for our company Facebook group. But I've just seen them be not so nice sometimes to new agents, and I just don't want that to happen. And I don't want, the last thing you want to do is get in a fight with these people. I'm telling you guys. So yes, it's a very helpful group. Just be careful how you use it. Oyster.com is my new one. I just found it the other day. It's pretty cool. They go there and actually review the properties themselves. Yes, it's like a booking engine on there too. But there was some pretty good pretty good stuff on there. They take their own photos and they give you the pros and the cons on each of the properties, and they review others' reviews. And they say, well, a lot of people are complaining about this or that. So it was pretty neat. Go check that out. And of course, Expedia's got their own Travelocity. I do find that most of those are not so fake. I mean, you do on TripAdvisor, they're trying to weed those out, but they don't always catch them. I know that some of those are fake. The properties need their ratings up, so they went and had their employees or whoever do them. But the majority, you can figure that out too. So, but any of these are great for reviews. I definitely would go and do not ever get too lazy to do this. You will be sorry if you send your client to a flea infested hotel, or you send them something without checking the reviews. It looks fabulous because all photos do, and they get back to you and say, do you know anything about this property? Because I just looked, and there are people that literally say they can't stay there for overnight. They've had to check out before they even checked in. I mean, really, and then you go and it's just horrific. Not a good way to start with a client. And this is the second thing that I cannot stress enough. You cannot ever get lazy of. Know before you quote. Guys, we have to know. We have to always check our pricing. People are budget friendly now, unless you have VIP clients that do not price check you, that do not care. I know our CEO talks about that frequently, and it's wonderful when you have those people, but you need to build confidence, and you need to build a relationship with your clients to where I'm telling you, your family's going to be your worst. They will get you every time. It's like they are looking for a reason to prove you wrong. So family and friends, don't ever underestimate it. If you don't check it, I guarantee they are. Don't ever think they're not. So just make sure that you go on and you make sure you're the lowest. If you're not the lowest, that you tell them why, that you can match the pricing, because at minimum, as agents, we can match the pricing. I mean, come on. I mean, you might have to dig a little bit more, but we can match it. I mean, we can figure that out. cheapcaribbean.com, I'm going to go back to. Again, that's where that's probably the first one on all-inclusives that I check, especially with Vacation Express, because if anybody's going to beat Vacation Express, I've caught them doing it just a couple times. It's not frequent, but it is always worth going and checking, their site out. Again, if you find it, get the quote, email it to Vacation Express. Within 48 hours, they'll price check you or price match you. Kayak, I love Kayak because it pulls in all of those booking engines, booking.com, hotels.com, Expedia, all those things. And it pretty much tells you who's the lowest. The problem with it is sometimes it looks lower because the taxes have not been added. The fees have not been added yet. You have to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples. My favorite thing to do is to go to the hotel website. After I've checked prices on everything, go to the hotel website. Make sure it's the hotel website, not a fake one. There's a lot of those fake ones out. They look real. They look like it's the hotel website, but it's actually somebody that's trying to get you to book with them. For instance, it's not GrandRivieraPrincess.com, but there is a site called that. It's actually PrincessResorts.com. So just make sure it's the legitimate hotel website. Check their pricing just for their room. Typically, it's the same. It's at least the same price as the whole package or more. So go, and that's a great thing to tell your client. Hey, if you go to the website, I got this whole package, air transfers, everything for $4,000, but on the hotel website, the room alone was $5,000. So definitely go and check that hotel website, because it's really neat to be able to show them how much value you're giving them and what they're getting for that money. If they think it's high, let them try to go, book it directly. And like I said, apples to apples. You can't get on Cheap Caribbean and go and find the lowest price room that they have, and you're putting them in a platinum, or people are saying, well, I found it cheaper. And then you go, yeah, you did. Now go through, and it didn't have taxes added, fees added. It didn't have transfers added. And by the time they see all that, they realize that you actually are cheaper. So just make sure they're doing that. And then if they do come up with something cheaper, make sure you're adding, for the amenities and the benefits. If you're giving them platinum, or you're giving them that $300 resort credit that only is for Vacation Express, for example, that they can't get online, they need to know about those things, because it makes a difference in, is your pricing might be slightly higher, but you're making up for it elsewhere. So you're giving them nonstop charter flights. Yeah, they found a good flight online, but it's got to stop. Or the times are horrific. You know, they're arriving at 6 o'clock in the evening and they're having to leave out of there at 9 a.m. You know, they're losing part of their vacation. So all of those things you need to look at. I'm giving you transfers. What you found doesn't have that. So just make sure that you're always thinking about the extras that you're providing them. If for some reason that they try to say that you know, this pricing doesn't work, you can always throw that kind of added benefits in there. All right, after we hit the save itinerary button, this is where it brings you. So if you notice, as soon as you hit that save itinerary, this is the at the top where it says documents. Over here, well, there's a couple things. Over here, you're going to notice the lead name, which would have been your client's name, is TBA. Now, unless somebody can figure this out, I have not figured out. It will save your itinerary. You can go to your reservations, it'll be there. But it will not let you actually book that itinerary from there, because it won't let you change that TBA. And I'm not sure why. I've not quite ever figured it out. But typically, I mean, what you basically have to do is just start over. Make sure the pricing is the same the next day or 5 hours from now when they say yes. They say, this is the room I want. Go in, double check, make sure you look at what you gave them, the dates and everything, and then just go pull it back up. Make sure that nothing's changed, because of course we always tell our clients that these prices are subject to change. Unless you have held this room and actually created a booking with their legal names, you need to make sure they know that pricing can change. If you did create a booking, held this room, you're almost positive this is what they're going to want, then you need to make sure that you have their names and all that information, because you can't change it. Don't try to go in there changing that, or just putting in Joe, you know, whatever, because you're going to have to start over. You can't. Make sure you have legal names, the right information to actually book it if you're going to hold it. And if you do that, it lets you hold it for like 48 hours. If you notice here, it shows that deposit $75 per person, and that the final payment's due on April 20th. But this was done yesterday, and it gave me till February 15th. So I think it's like right at 48 hours it gives you. All your pricing is here. And then at the top, this is what I wanted you to see, is where it says documents. So if we click on documents, we're ready to send a quote, because we've done our reviews, we've done our price checking, and we know that, you know, they're not going to find it any cheaper. So when we get to this screen, when we click documents, again, here we are. So it's got the invoices over here on the left-hand side. It'll let you view those. Click on invoice, click on client invoice. You can do, travel documents will never be available until their final payment's been made. And then they'll put those documents in there that you can send to your client, and it's all that they need to travel. It gives them all the information on how to find their transfers, has everything available. Over here where you've got your emails, okay, it's going to have your email, because this is your account, obviously. And then it's going to have the little drop down right here where it says email other. That is not typically what's in that spot. You have to pull the menu down, and you have to choose email other. That will let you send this directly to your client. There's a blank space underneath there. That's where you type in your client's email address. The biggest thing with this, make sure that you do the drop-down menu and you choose the passenger invoice without commission. If you send them the client invoice that says with commission, they're going to see your commission, and this is going to be, you know, you're going to have to address all that and explain the commissions. All, you know, that's just a vicious circle. So make sure you always send that. You can change the subject line, and you can type them an email. This is where I usually say, hey, you know, I pulled this up on the hotel website, and it was $5,000 just for the room. You know, look what I found you. You know, and that's, you can type anything you want to in there, but you can type a long email just like you would in Gmail. Or you can send it to yourself, edit it from there, and send it to them. But there's a send button here at the bottom where you can send it to yourself or your client. I usually do my clients from here. I mean, no reason not to. All right, guys. So having got through that booking, if you guys have any questions, start thinking about them. We're going to get to Q&A. I just wanted to realize that this is being recorded. Probably going to have to re-record it at this point after finding out, that my screen wasn't sharing. But it is being recorded, and I don't know who's on here right now, but I do know that we have a lot of people from my company that are on here that have been wanting training, and I just wanted to make sure that if anybody's on here, somebody invited you, you're an agent from another host agency, and you came upon this live training, because how often do we ever see that, and you thought, well, let me check this out, or if you're just somebody that ran across this, and you're wanting to build a travel business, let me just say that again, our company is just absolutely amazing. Like it is everything good that I could pick from each one of those other agencies I've been in. Our owners are amazing. They take phone calls. It's a great culture, and this is the kind of stuff we're doing for our agents. We're not just throwing them out there. So we've got I think the only host agency that has an industry recognized certification program, and it's included. So when you start up with us, we give you over 16 hours worth of training, and everybody that's from my company that's been on here tonight has been through that certification program, and this is just extra training that we're doing to just kind of branch out on that. The ongoing training and support, you're looking at it. Plus we have amazing support from our corporate staff. We have the owners, like I said, and CEO, they take phone calls and are extremely helpful. And then we've got other agents that, they do just this. I take phone calls all the time, and others do as well. So we just have a great group. And the hosting fees are ridiculous for what we offer. It's unbelievable. I can't even talk about how low they are compared to what you would pay anywhere else for even close to this. You can either get with somebody, if they gave you this training, please get back with them, and they can help you with talking to our owners, or getting you set up and letting you see what we've got, if it's a fit for you. If not, if you stumbled upon it, you can get a hold of me. Here's my web address. Here's my email. So either way, also, if you have questions that maybe I don't get to, or you want to, just touch base with me after this, please just email me. A lot of you have my Facebook, and you're more than welcome to catch me there too. And then the only other thing I want to talk about is, it kind of hit me as I went through here that we're going to have people that probably stumble on this, that are being, they just want to see, they saw travel, or they saw all-inclusive, and they've never thought about being a travel agent. They don't want to be a travel agent, or they're not a travel agent. Let me just say that we really do this much work for all of our clients. All of our clients are VIP travel clients. And if you know an agent, I strongly suggest that if you're using the internet right now, stop it. You will never get the rates that we can give you, and you sure won't get the service. When I talk about those commissions, if you've been watching this and you're just a travel client that's kind of looking up travel right now, understand that everything that you book, you're giving them commission to put back in their pocket, because they have commission built into everything. Every cruise, every hotel that you book online, everywhere you go, Vacation Express has the same commissions built in. They put them in their pocket. But then you're also nothing more than a confirmation number to them, which is not what you are to us. So definitely, if you know an agent, please, by all means, reach out to them. Give them a chance. I just don't, agents are, it's amazing what they do and how much work they put into saving you a few dollars. So they definitely deserve your business. You wouldn't get your car worked on by your dentist. So why not at least let them see what they can get you for your money that maybe you never even thought of. We get the lowest prices. It's just a given. We have tricks. We have vendor relationships. You find it online, and we'll match it. At minimum, we'll match it. That's pretty much 99.9% of the time. And if we can't, you see how much research we do, we're honest. And we'll tell you, we can't beat it. You better take that price. The service is, you know, that you can't put price on that. And you get access to client-only specials with us. And right now, if you know somebody in our company, please by all means reach out to them, because they may not have told you that if you sign up as a VIP client on our list, then it's a 3-day, we're giving away for a period of time. I'm not sure how long this will go on. But right now, our owners are just evidently insane, and they're giving away 3-day, 2-night free hotel stays just for registering as a VIP client. Again, you can catch me, either go to my website. If you go to that website, you can actually pick that up. I'd love to have you on my VIP client list. I don't want you on my VIP client list though if you have a friend that's a travel agent, because I think that they deserve that business. So definitely, by all means, reach out to me. Or if you just have questions, you know, you need a quote or something, please email me by all means. Okay, guys, it's Q&A time. I've got some of you know him and some of you don't. I've got this amazing moderator. Yeah, I'll say it right. On here tonight. And he has just been too much help for all of us. I think we just all love him in our company. And he's gotten him a new name since Club Med. But most of us just refer to him as Captain Dale. And Captain Dale has got some questions, and he's kind of watching your guys' questions. So he's going to help me out here. And he's going to put me on the spot, and he's going to ask some questions for me. So Captain Dale. Let's get him on here. Are you there? Hold on. Why are you muted, Dale? Didn't we go through this just a little while ago? I thought we had this worked out, buddy. Yeah, you're not muted on my end. Oh, I know what it is. Let's see if that works. My goodness, what have I done now? I can't hear a word you're saying, Dale. Hold on. No, sir, you're not muted on my end. What a mess. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly just don't know. I don't. Well, guys. Mm-mm. No, sir, they're not. They're not muted. I wished I could unmute the whole thing. I could try that, Robin. That's a good idea. I just don't know. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna Dale, type me out some questions that you had. And you're funny. Type Dale. Write down Dale. Write down what she should do and hold it up for her. I am simple like that. Okay, Carolyn. For Club Med, is it less expensive going this way than through Club Med themselves? Well, actually, Vacation Express. I think I said at the beginning that they don't have all vendors. They don't have sandals. They don't have Club Med. So here, can everybody see me now? They don't have Club Med, and I'm going to give you a couple of hints on that. You know it's not going to be cheaper because they don't carry it, but there are places you can go, and Club Med's prices are going to be the same across the board. It doesn't matter, but it can be. Hold on, just Dale. I hear you now.
You can hear me?
I can hear you, Dale.
Ah, excellent. I'm over here. I don't know what happened, but I'll take credit for it.
We're never going to let this happen again, guys. I promise. Next week's going to be so much better because we're doing this.
In my experience, though, Tammy, it's not a Google Hangout unless some kind of catastrophic technical difficulty happens.
Even Faraday has that problem. I see it. She has something happen every week. So
absolutely.
So this is kind of a good question about Club Med that Carolyn was asking because no, we don't have that. Vacation Express doesn't have it. They have a really, really great selection of everything from budget to luxury. But Carolyn, I hear that. I know Dusty, he had made the comment that we weren't going to be dealing with VAX right off, but I do understand that we're signed up with them. So VAX is a great tool. They do have Club Med in them. And what can make it cheaper for your clients is when you package it, especially if you do it through them. So package it.
Tammy, I'm going to interrupt you here. On my screen, it's saying that I'm presenting to everyone. Are you, do you have it so it switches with the audio?
I can make that happen because you told me how to do it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's see if it does it.
And maybe if the audience is out there, if they can help us, because we have a different screen that we're looking at than what everyone else is seeing.
Here, let me do me. How's that?
Oh, there you go. You are presenting to everyone. Perfect.
Yeah, see that? Okay, guys. I'll never get through this question if I keep doing this. Basically, VAX carries Club Med. You can go. It's a kind of a one-stop shop. It's got about 55, I think it is, vendors in it, and you can go there. You can do. You can find other pricing, like I said, FunJet, all of those that I listed earlier there. But what can make it less expensive for Club Med? You're not going to find the actual pricing for Club Med cheaper, but it can make it less expensive when you go to packaging with air. If they need a rental car, if you've got somebody that's going to Club Med, maybe from Orlando doing like a Disney Club Med combo. Then you can package it that way. When we do get you access to VAX, then definitely get in there. And VAX is a training in itself, trust me. So we will definitely be having to go over that because I know I'm gonna be hearing about it. All right, Miss Robin, tell us what you learned at Club Med booking wise. Is this like an inside joke or something? I'm trying to think of what is she talking about, Dale? Do you have any idea? Maybe I'm just missing something.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Robin's going at with that. But in the interim, though, I do have a question that I personally had for you.
Okay.
All right. So I know that you had said that when using like either VE Value or the Premier, any one of those vendors, that you can do just the charter flight. How do you go about getting a transfer from the airport to the hotel if you don't include it with that? You know, because you can't include it from the Vacation Express.
Actually, there may be an option. Dale, I hadn't looked at it that close. They actually may have an option where you can get transfers to your hotel, even if you don't book a hotel through them. But I can tell you this: you dig, you search. There's different ones, but ARC Marketplace has a whole list. That's a good vendor to go to. They have a whole list of activities for each city and place in countries, and one of those is transportation. So you can find a lot of that. Google is your friend. ARC Marketplace, I use that a lot. That's probably where I would start. Or yeah, you know, anytime I have to look for transfers for somebody, I usually start there. At minimum, I get names from them, and then I'll look and see if I can find it cheaper through another vendor. But a lot of the vendors do offer transfers if you go and look. And I will have to look at Vacation Express because there's a possibility that if you remember the screen that we had where it had all of like the tours at the bottom you could add, when you do that flight, there's a possibility that they have a transfers option there. So I'll definitely have to look at that. I've not booked a single air, I don't think, through. I know that it can be done, and I like to keep it in the back of my head because you never know when you're going to need it. But I don't recall ever booking just air only through Vacation Express, so I hadn't looked at it that close.
Got it. I just got a message from Robin talking about a little bit of what that insider is from Club Med, and it was actually a message from her husband John, and what he wanted to touch on was that the earlier that you book, the cheaper of a rate you're going to get as you're booking, further out in the year.
Right. Oh my gosh, they've got a huge sale going right now. 40% off. I've seen crazy rates that we can't get at a regular hotel, much less an all-inclusive. And I think that there are a lot of travel agents that they run across this training. They may be actually really, really shocked what Club Med has now. I know I did not see that coming. Only all-inclusive in the United States, guys. And we had fun. Gosh, we had fun. Anything else you can think of there, Dale?
I actually do have a question. It's back on that transfers. If something happens, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is I just recently had a flight that was canceled on me. So I actually showed up to my destination. I was about like 8 hours behind when I was supposed to have landed, and I could see that could happen to a client at some point. And if you have transfers that are set up for a specific time, how would you go about, fixing that problem for your client? If, say, they're delayed 3-4 hours, is that something you'd contact the hotel about, or?
No, in this case, in this instance, I would contact depends on who you book it through. If I book it through Vacation Express, I would call Vacation Express, but they do watch those flights. They know what clients that they're looking for. They know what flights they're looking for. If they're behind, they're going to be there. And they run transfers all day long. If you look at your documents when you get them, they tell your client exactly where to go, who to look for, and they're there. I have yet to have one client that did not find them immediately. They're like, that was the easiest thing. Once you get through the Cancun airport, because it's, that's the worst one. But with all of their transfers are the same. They're standing there waiting. They tell you what they're going to be wearing, the whole nine. They have signs. You can't miss. So I would call, just because I'm type A personality like that, and make sure that Vacation Express is aware. And of course, they're going to say to me, Tammy, we watch those flights, we know. But at least I can say I call them. Gotcha. Now, if I booked it through ARC, then I wouldn't call ARC. I would call the vendor directly. I would call the vendor directly and make sure. Then again, they're going to have flight information, all of that when I book it for them. But I am going to call them and make sure, send them an email, something, whatever I have to do to get a hold of them.
Gotcha. That's some great information. A little nugget for us.
Well, that's what you get for not booking through a travel agent whenever you went whenever you got delayed there, buddy? Well, yes, you did book through a travel agent.
I booked it through myself. Unfortunately,
we're the worst. We're our worst clients, huh?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it was one of those situations where I actually made out pretty well. It was a mechanical issue with the flight itself. Some sensors were faulty, so they couldn't let it take off. I was able to get on the next flight out, where the majority of the passengers were not able to. They got put in hotel rooms and were delayed until the next day. So even though it sounds bad that I had to wait an extra 8 hours, it wasn't as bad as being stuck in the Jacksonville airport before getting home.
True, very true. All right, Robin and John, any questions? Carolyn, Ray, I know Ray's got to be on here. He's always on here.
Well, while we're waiting for maybe another question, I have another one lined up if you're ready to knock it out of the park.
Absolutely. Well, I'm not promising anything.
This one's a gimme.
Test my brain down. You always test my brain.
Well, this is just, I think, something that's good. I've been researching a lot of all-inclusives, and I find myself spending, especially as I'm getting comfortable with the process, I'm spending more and more, I'm spending a lot of time researching it. As you're I guess like a travel sensei, how much time do you think you would spend on average? I know it's going to vary depending on the client specifications. How much time do you think on average it takes you to do a really complete, thorough, research of a trip?
Well, I mean, I will never claim that my way is the best way. I will not do it. It's the way I do it. And it's the way that I know that I have dotted every I and crossed every T. I know there's seasoned agents that are probably watching this right now going, girl, what in the world are you talking about? That's fine. Please email me. Give me more tips. That's one thing we don't do. We don't share enough. That's why we're doing this right now, guys. Everybody is so, it's impossible to find help. I had nobody. Y'all are so lucky that at least somebody's got, giving you little nuggets of, to slow your time down. So I started probably, I'd say, honestly, I saw it take me anywhere from a couple hours, depending on what I was looking up, a couple hours to, I've spent 12 hours on a trip just quoting. Don't get, travel agent's probably not a good profession for somebody that's type A. It's just probably not, but I love it. It's never work. So now it's probably something like what I just did. I can really do it because I know where I'm going, and I gave you guys everything that I do. I didn't hide anything. I didn't keep anything to myself. I pull up. I'll have like 15 tabs, and I go bam, kayak, TripAdvisor. I go through. I look at everything, and then you also get to know resorts. I suggest everybody just learn the resorts, and that'll cut your time by half. So as I learned resorts, as I sent people places, I've got it down now to where I can probably do one. Honestly, if it's nothing weird and they're not wanting like quotes for, well, we need 2 rooms, but we could probably all get in one, or, I want to see what it is with my kids and without. If it's not one of those, it's just like what we just looked at, I can probably do it in about 30 to 45 minutes. I'm guessing. Yeah. And that's really that's price check and everything. 30, 45 minutes, just honestly. There's other agents that could probably do it in 10 or 15. I guarantee it, because they know the resorts that well. And I do know them. I've gotten to where I've researched so many of them that I can pretty well, go, and it just takes time. That's just something that takes time. It will cut your time in half though, when you get to know these resorts.
Best way to learn them is to go to them, right?
Exactly right, baby. And we're going to hit everyone we can.
Exactly. We did just get a new question from Cheryl. Do you see that popped up in your window there, Tammy? She's asking for Cancun. What hotels did you say were the best, and especially for adults?
Well, that depends. I would have to have the list of all of the, especially for adults. I'd have to have the list pulled up in front of me. which I could do real quick if you want me to. If I have the list pulled up right in front of me, I can tell you a little better. Princess does have an adults only over in Riviera that's kind of connected to that one that we just looked at. So they do have an adult. That one's not bad. It also depends. Do you want to be in Riviera Maya or do you want to be in Hotel Zone? So that depends. Oasis has adults only. That's not a bad resort. That's a nice resort. I don't remember. I think Excellence. I have to look at it. I really do, Dale, because there's so many in like Hotel Zone, and then you've got Riviera Maya because Cancun is just huge when it comes to all inclusives. If I have the list in front of me, again, you can pull it up. It'll have an AO beside it. Also, you can go to the top of Vacation Express on your front screen under my account that had like the new booking, reservations, all of that listed. The first screen I pulled up, they list by what they call collections. So you can look up adults only, all the adults only that are in Cancun, that are in Punta Cana, that are, every island, what's there. So they listed under collections there. And you can click that tab, go to adults only, look. It also does the same thing for children. It lists all of the family resorts. It breaks it down like that for you. But
I'm going to go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you, Tammy, but I just have to do my little quick plug because we had such a great time at Club Med, and we did learn specifically with Club Med that they were the first all-inclusive resort down there in Cancun.
Of course, we have to include them. I thought, well,
yes.
That's a no-brainer. They were the first one in Cancun, and they have the best property in Cancun. And I don't think that many agents even know. I don't even think they know what they're missing out on. The snorkel there is like amazing what they were talking about. I love the snorkel when I go on cruises and all-inclusive. So I was really excited to hear that reef that all of our clients are paying to go out to, you can actually walk out to if you're at Club Med. They have such, the tip of the island there. So you can actually walk out to that reef. Thank you, Dale. I saw you smiling. You were sitting there waiting. It's like a test question. You're right.
And just the geeky Captain Dale part, I know oceans really well now. It's actually the Mesoamerican Reef, which stretches from right there at the beginning of Cancun all the way down past Belize. It is the second largest barrier reef out there in the world.
I actually experienced it for the first time in Isle of Roatan, which is part of Honduras. And they have just off their coast, literally right off their coast, they've got an amazing scuba. Scuba there's amazing because of that reef. Yep, I got the experience of there, but I've been to Cancun several times, but haven't really done the reef so much. I did it once, but really, really, really awesome as you get towards, like Honduras, Belize, that area. Okay, anything else?
Well, we got a message that said that Club Med isn't adult only, and I just could touch on that. We didn't have, the question wasn't about which one's adult only, but which one would be the best, and especially for adults. So I think we still did a pretty decent job of answering that. And it's also, Cheryl was saying that Club Med was out of their budget, so maybe you have a suggestion that would be.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Give me just 1 second. Let me look here real quick, guys. Give me just a second, and I will get. It's hard to I do a lot of these. Let's just do it like this. I really think that the Palace, I'm just trying to think of who I was there. I do so many between Punta Cana and Quotes. How old are these adults? Do you hear me? Are we talking about older adults, or are we talking about younger adults?
I'm waiting to see when that pops up here in the chat. I guess while that's coming up, I just want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Tammy Walker for taking her time out of a Valentine's Day, a Sunday evening, to help train all of us. I really appreciate it. I think you're awesome. I think everybody else out there thinks you're awesome as well.
You're so sweet. You are too nice. Okay. I would honestly, I would look at Sandos. Obviously, that's one of our preferred partners with our company. I've not had any problems with the Princess Resorts. I think that their platinum level, I wouldn't necessarily, I've never seen anybody that I didn't put them in a platinum level. So I definitely would look at that. Iberostar is a good group, always a good group of hotels. Royalton is as well. Then you start getting up into like Palladium. A lot of people like Barcelo. I hear good and bad. Some of the Barcelo properties, though, are amazing. I just think I would check and see. I mean, like most of them are actually, but it seems like I don't know if they bought out some recently, and they were other resorts, and they're trying to bring them up to standards. I'm not sure. But Dreams, if you are going to be up in the little higher price range, I mean, they're still not outrageous, and they're having some great sales right now, guys. Dreams, Moon Palace, awesome. I can tell you that if you have a younger crowd, and I'm probably missing some.
We were told age range from 33 to 53, Tammy.
Okay. Yeah, any of those that I just mentioned then. If you have a younger crowd, I would, if you can get them to Punta Cana, I'm pushing this hard for some reason. I found this resort's like one of the sexiest resorts I've seen in a long time. It's the Chic Punta Cana. And it happens to be, I believe it's a Royalton property, but it's adults only. And I do think, now I'm not saying that middle-aged people that are still very youthful and like to have a good time won't love this property. I'm not saying that, but I can promise you that younger, especially like bachelor girls week, you know, if they're doing like bachelorette parties or guys weeks or, you know, singles and then young couples, it is, take a look at it, guys, because they have got some crazy pricing on Vacation Express lately. And it literally, if you go to their site to book it, is almost double for just the room. I found some insane pricing on it, and what they get. I mean, they have swim out suites that are just to die for. I definitely would look at Chic. I just like it. I'm pushing it right now because I've seen such great pricing for it. The value is insane once they get there. I've got a couple looking at it for their honeymoon with the swim out suite. I got them it was like $5,000 for the room, and I got them just over $3,000 for the whole package.
Well, I don't see any more questions on the board at the moment, Tammy.
Well, guys, I hope that we get this re-recorded maybe. since my screen wasn't even showing there for a while. I bet that was pretty. So I apologize for the technical difficulties, but yeah, I don't think it's a hangout without it. But next week it's not going to happen. I think next week I just need people like from my company. I'm speaking to you. And really, I mean, if there's other agents out there that happen on this at some point, if they have suggestions for what we might do, but I'm thinking we're going into cruises next week. What do you think, Dale?
I think cruises is a great topic.
I'm thinking that's going to be a good one. I mean, but I also think that it's definitely a 2 to 3 dayer. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go into cruises next week.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about everybody else out there.
Yeah, so I can do this once a week, and we'll do it on Sundays for right now. I can always spread it out for our company for vendors if I want to, if you guys want specific vendors or whatever, I could do it like on Wednesday or something. But I just realized what time it was, and we have taken up a lot of time, and I'm sorry, guys. And I'm going to, let everybody go and just message me, email me, get me on Facebook, whatever. Let me know if there's something in particular you want me to touch on. I can do a training on it. But let's do cruises, because I really want to get to group cruises where we make our money. So that's a whole thing in itself, and I love group cruises. So we're going to do that. We're definitely going to do that. Let's just get to it in the next couple of weeks. All right, Dale. Thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate your help.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for spending your time with us, Tammy.
All right, guys. Any questions or anything you need, just email me or catch me on Facebook. All right, guys. I'll see you later. See you next Sunday, 8 o'clock. Bye.